I need you to look at the screenshot on the screen right now. This is the floor plan of my apartment, generated by my robot vacuum's LiDAR sensors. It looks standard, right? Here is the kitchen island. Here is the sofa in the living room. Here is the hallway leading to the bedroom. But look at the top left corner. Behind the pantry wall. You see that gray, pixelated area? The app labels it Zone 4. The vacuum spent 42 minutes cleaning Zone 4 last night. The problem is, I don't have a Zone 4. That wall is supposed to be an exterior wall. There is nothing behind it but dirt and concrete foundation. Or at least, that's what I thought until I moved the pantry shelf this morning. My name is Daniel. I live in a ground floor apartment in an older building. The rent is cheap, the neighbors are quiet, and the place is decent, mostly. I bought the vacuum off an online marketplace a week ago. It's a high-end model, one of those with the front-facing AI camera to avoid dog poop and cords. The seller said he just wanted to upgrade. He seemed eager to get rid of it. He didn't even haggle on the price. I set it to run at 2 a.m. every night. I'm a heavy sleeper, and the white noise of the suction motor actually helps me drift off. For the first 3 nights, everything was fine. I would wake up, the floors would be clean, and the little robot, I named him Dusty, would be back on his charging dock, glowing green. But last night was different. I woke up at 3:45 a.m. The house was dead silent. Usually, the cleaning cycle takes an hour. It should have been finished by 3 a.m. But I didn't hear the docking successful chime that usually wakes me up slightly. I grabbed my phone from the nightstand. I opened the app. Status, stuck. Left wheel suspended. Stuck. My apartment is minimalist. I don't have rugs with tassels. I don't have wires on the floor. I looked at the live map to see where it was. The little robot icon wasn't in the living room. It wasn't in the kitchen. It was floating in the black void outside the boundaries of my floor plan. It looked like a glitch. Like the GPS had drifted. I turned on the flashlight on my phone and walked out into the living room. Dusty? I whispered. Silence. I checked under the sofa. I checked under the dining table. The robot was gone. I walked to the kitchen. The back door was locked. The windows were shut. Unless the thing grew wings and flew away, it had to be inside the apartment. Then I heard it. A faint, rhythmic beeping coming from the pantry. Beep. 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 It's a walk-in pantry, but it's small. Just shelves of pasta and canned beans. I opened the door. The beeping got louder. But the floor of the pantry was empty. The sound was coming from behind the heavy wooden shelving unit bolted to the back wall. I have lived here for 2 years. I never tried to move that shelf. It looked built in. But now, with the adrenaline pumping through my veins, I grabbed the frame and pulled. It groaned. The wood scraped against the floor. It wasn't bolted to the wall. It was on hinges. Hidden, rusty hinges. The entire shelf swung outward like a heavy door. Behind it, there wasn't drywall. There was a hole. A jagged, rough opening cut into the original brickwork of the building. And the air that drifted out of that hole, it was stale. It smelled like wet cardboard and old copper coins. And somewhere in the darkness of that hole, my robot vacuum was beeping. I stood there for a long time. My rational brain said, call the police. Get out. But my curiosity is a fatal flaw. I shined my flashlight into the hole. It wasn't just a crawl space. It was a tunnel. It sloped downwards, going under the foundation of the building. I crouched down. Hello? I called out. My voice didn't echo. The walls were lined with something soft that absorbed the sound. I saw the robot. It was about 10 feet down the tunnel, stuck on a pile of rubble. Its wheels were spinning helplessly in the air. I crawled in. I just wanted to grab the machine and back out. I wanted to close the shelf and pretend I never saw this. I reached the robot. I grabbed it by the handle. It was heavy. I lifted it up, and my flashlight beam swung further down the tunnel. That's when I saw the room. Zone 4. The tunnel opened up into a small, square chamber. It wasn't empty. There was a mattress on the floor. A filthy, stained mattress. There were jugs of water, empty food wrappers, and pictures. Taped to the brick walls were hundreds of pictures. Polaroids. Printed photos. They were pictures of me. Me sleeping. Me cooking. Me watching TV. And they were all taken from low angles. From the floor level. My blood turned to ice. The vacuum. The seller didn't just sell me a vacuum. He sold me a surveillance device. Or someone else had been accessing the camera feed. I scrambled backwards, dragging the robot with me. I scraped my knees on the concrete. I got back into the pantry. I slammed the hidden shelf door shut. I shoved a chair against it. I ran to the living room and locked the front door. I looked at the vacuum in my hands. The clean button was flashing red. I needed to see the data. I brought it to my computer. I didn't connect it to Wi-Fi. I pulled the internal data log via the USB debug port. I found the video file from tonight's run. I clicked play. The video starts at 2 a.m. The robot leaves the dock. It cleans the living room. Standard stuff. Then, at 2:35 a.m., it approaches the pantry. The shelf, the hidden door, opens. It doesn't open by itself. A hand reaches out from the darkness and pulls the shelf open. A pale, dirty hand. The robot pauses. Its obstacle avoidance sensors detect the person. It tries to turn around. But the hand reaches down and grabs the robot. It doesn't pick it up. It gently guides it into the tunnel. The person wants the robot to come in. The camera view shakes as the robot bumps over the threshold. It drives down the tunnel. It enters the room with the mattress. The person sits on the mattress. You can only see their legs. Dirty jeans. No shoes. The robot starts cleaning the floor of the hidden room. It vacuums around the water jugs. It bumps into the mattress. Then, the person leans down. His face comes into the frame. It's the guy I bought the vacuum from. But he looks different. Deranged. Thinner. He looks directly into the camera lens. He smiles. His teeth are yellow. Good boy, he whispers to the machine. Map the perimeter. Make sure he's alone. Then he reaches out and flips the robot over, leaving it stuck, wheels spinning. The video ends. I am sitting in my car right now. I am parked 3 blocks away. I called the police. They are at the apartment now. They just called me back. They found the hidden room. But they didn't find the guy. The tunnel doesn't just end in that room. It connects to the sewer system. He is gone. But here's the part that made me leave the state. The police officer asked me if I had any other smart devices in the house. I told him I have an Alexa and a smart thermostat. He said, you should check them. Because on the wall of that hidden room, next to the pictures of me, there was a list. It was a list of IP addresses. My IP addresses. And at the bottom of the list, written in Sharpie, was a date. Tomorrow's date. And the words, Harvest Day. I am checking into a hotel. I threw the vacuum in a dumpster. But before I threw it away, I checked the app one last time. The map had updated. It showed Zone 4, but it also showed a new path. A red line moving from Zone 4 back into the living room. The timestamp on the movement was 3:50 a.m. 5 minutes after I woke up. 5 minutes before I opened the pantry. He wasn't in the tunnel when I crawled in there. He was already in the apartment. He was standing behind the pantry door, watching me find his nest. If you have a robot vacuum, check your map. Check the gray areas. And if your vacuum ever gets stuck in a place where it shouldn't be, don't go looking for it. Just move.